Hi everyone.
I'm Tambika
And I'm Bula.
and welcome to our kitchen. Today we're going to treat you with a special meal. It's July at the moment, so we're going to treat you with Christmas in July.
We're going to present you with a few recipes, traditional Christmas recipes that we hope that you might like, and we'll show you step by step on how to achieve those, and we're going to have some fun on the way there.
We're going to keep it quick and easy and simple, not too much fuss, but beautiful, tasty and healthy food. Now Vula is going to show us how to stuff the turkey and prepare it for the oven.
Yes?
This is her expertise. She's an expert in the field, and I will go away and start peeling my prawns so we can make a beautiful prawn salad for you.
Thanks, Tambika.
I'll leave it with you, Vula.
Okay everyone, so the first thing I would say is to prepare your turkey, take it out of the fridge at least 2 to 3 hours before you cook it. That helps to bring it closer to room temperature so that when it cooks, it just, cooks a lot better and the meat is a lot more tender. I would also say preheat your oven to 180 degrees. In this instance, George has fired up the oven outside, and I'm sure that you can see that. And we will take you for a little tour as we take the turkey into the oven. And I'm going to start working on my stuffing. So you're going to need one brown onion. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually chop that, medium to fine. It doesn't have to be too fine because a bit of texture in the stuffing is good. So what I normally do is just traditional sort of chopping, crisscross I call it. Some recipes do say just to use half an onion, but I find you might as well use the whole thing. It always gives a lovely, lovely flavour. So there we go. Now I'm going to just start getting my pan warm. To heat up my pan now. Medium heat is good, not too high. We're going to use around 20 grams of butter. And while that's happening, I am going to prepare my garlic. So you need about 2 garlic cloves. Now if they are small, you can use 3 or 4 even. So I normally just smash it with the side of my knife, and that helps to peel off the skin. And my butter is melting beautifully. So I'll just finely chop this garlic. Lovely. Now I'm going to throw both of these into my pan. Now I don't really want to brown them too much. I really want to just sweat them really and just soften them. Turn it slightly up. Okay. So as I said, we're just sweating the onions and garlic so they're sort of softened. And then the next thing I'm going to put in is 3 bacon rashers with the rind removed and finely chopped. I've already done this. So I'm going to throw that in at this point. Give it a good stir.
Oh, it smells amazing, Paula.
Already.
Yes,
And it's just
I can smell
Onion
it.
and garlic.
Onion and garlic burning. Yum.
you know what? It's the simple things
Yes.
that are the most flavoursome sometimes. Lovely. So we don't need to overcook it because keep in mind that this will also be cooking whilst it is in the oven in the turkey. So while that's happening, I'm actually going to chop up half a cup of walnuts or walnut hearts. Just very roughly chop them. I think that's just about enough. So what we're going to do at this point is we are going to turn our heat off and we're going to transfer this mixture into a heat-proof bowl. So we need it to, because there's other ingredients that we need to apply to it. So we just need to give it some time to cool down a little bit. So then, at this point, we could throw in our walnuts. Give it a little stir. Now, the next thing we're going to do, I have got 140 grams of one-day-old bread. So we're actually going to make breadcrumbs out of this in the NutriBullet. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to just break it up into small pieces and pop that in there. Go. So we're going to pour our breadcrumbs into the mixture. Perfect. And we're going to mix that together. That will actually allow the stuffing to cool as well, because we are about to put an egg in this. So if it's too hot, of course the egg will cook. So the breadcrumbs will actually assist us in cooling this off. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to just whisk our egg. And that goes in. Give it a stir. It's looking great. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to use about a tablespoon of sage leaves. And we're going to finely chop these. We don't want to use too much sage in this mixture because it can be overpowering. You just want just enough for the aroma. So just curl it up and then finely chop it. Well. Okay, so there's our sage. So that goes in. just give that a good stir. Okay, and our stuffing is ready. The only other thing I need to add to this is a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't want to put too much salt in there because you do have the bacon in there, and bacon can actually be, have a little bit of salt in it. My pepper and just a little bit of salt. Lovely. So at this point, this is what our stuffing looks like. So you can see that. Chunky, bit of texture, a lot of flavors in there. Okay, so we're going to come back to this one. Firstly, we are going to use a baking tray to put this in. Now, with this, you can actually build a trivet of carrots, celery, onions, potatoes to sit the turkey on top. We're actually cooking potatoes for you separately today, so I'm going to use the rack and then use the juices to create the gravy to be used with the turkey. The way that I use the stuffing in the turkey is I actually don't apply it inside the cavity. I actually apply it inside the skin that's just in front of the neck. So we've got the neck, most of the neck is sitting directly inside. So at this point, we're going to actually put the stuffing. Can you see all that room in here? And there's all this skin. So we can actually fit quite a lot in this area. So that's what we're going to do with our stuffing.
This is a size 50 turkey ruler, isn't it? Size
Yes.
50. It's about 5 kilos
5
we're
kilos.
using today.
I'm going to use a spoon. Now, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty doing this, because it's the best way to do it. So, I'm going to start with applying my stuffing, and I just put a bit of pressure on it, push it in as we go, making sure I'm making the most of the space in there. The advantage of doing it this way is that we're actually leaving the cavity empty for the airflow. So while the turkey is cooking, it's going to have a lot better airflow, and so it's going to evenly cook. Sometimes putting too many things or stuffings inside the cavity can actually interfere with that. So as you can see, I have fitted all my stuffing in there, and now I'm just bending the skin over. Okay, so what I'm actually going to now do, I'm going to, inside the cavity, put a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme, just to actually get a bit of aroma and a little bit of, a little bit of spiciness, through the whole thing. So as it's cooking, that aroma from those spices, from those herbs, is going to spread through the turkey, and it's going to give it a lovely flavour. Now, just a couple of strings of rosemary, a couple of strings of thyme, probably about that much. So that kind of sits inside there, and it doesn't really interfere with anything. It's just for a bit of flavour, bit of aroma. You can actually smell that, and it smells amazing already. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do, which works really, really well, is we're going to smother this turkey with a lot of butter. And I've actually, I took this butter out of the fridge earlier on today to make sure that it softens, because we really, really want to spread this all over the turkey. So I'm choosing salted butter because salt is great with, you know, with any type of meat, especially when you put it directly on the skin of a poultry like turkey or even chicken. So I'm going to do that now in the spatula, and this is where you actually have to get your hands dirty.
It looks amazing, Paula.
Wow! And it's not even...
That's one big turkey.
Don't be afraid to just go heavy-handed with the butter. That's what's going to actually make this skin go really brown. It's going to add a lot of flavor to it. It's going to make it crispy on the outside. Okay, so now we're going to put a lot of salt directly onto the skin. So I'm actually going to, again, don't be afraid with the salt at this point, because it's straight onto the skin and it will actually help with the crispiness. And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to press some sage leaves onto butter. And again, this will give it a lovely, and I'm using the sage to spread the butter even more. Okay, there's one more thing that I want to finish with before I put it in the oven. And that is to give it a Christmassy feel and smell. I'm gonna actually put a little bit of nutmeg on the top, and I like doing this with the turkey because it makes it smell Christmassy. Nutmeg is a very Christmassy spice, so not too much, just sort of. Now I'm going to transfer this lovely bird onto.
Oh, that looks so good. I'm going to grab some alcohol.
Yes, now.
So traditionally, you would preheat the oven on
Yes.
180
180 degrees.
and cook it for how long?
Depending on the size of the turkey. For this size turkey, I think a couple of hours, 2 hours, and then covered in foil. Then remove the foil for another half an hour to 45 minutes. And then obviously take it out of the oven and let it rest. Sit it to rest, you know, for up to about an hour even.
Yes.
Yes, so anything bigger than that, you could increase the time up to 3 hours, depending on the...
You can always use a probe. Or,
Yes.
You know, if you're not sure, get some advice from your butcher on how long you think. It'll take.
Also too, if you are stuffing inside the cavity, then you would tie the legs together. In this instance, we haven't done that, so we don't need to protect anything from falling out. So you can actually leave the legs loose. So now what we're going to do is cover the turkey. No, that's it. So now we're going to put it in the wood fire oven and let it do its thing for the next couple of hours. Have we got it?
Yes.
This way.
George is coming to put it in for us. Let's see. Oh wow, that looks amazing. Wow. And we'll keep an eye on it. What temperature is the oven on, George?
Well, it'll go up now when I close the. When you close the door, you can see it, but it's hotter at the back of the oven. I've got it at the front at the moment, but that'll go up pretty quick. We can adjust
Perfect.
it.
Okay. Okay, we'll see
The
you
oven's-
soon. Okay, everyone. Now I am going to show you how we bake our potatoes. The ingredients used in our recipe today are traditional ingredients from the Greek origin, and our grandmother used to use the same ingredients. The method is going to be a little bit different, so I will only chop my potatoes in half and cook them covered in alfoil with just salt, pepper and olive oil. We are going to cook them in the wood-fired oven today, but if you were to cook them in your normal oven, just preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, fan forced, and cook your potatoes covered for about half an hour, just to make them soften a little bit. We don't want them to brown or go crispy. We only want them to just cook a little bit. I'm using about 16 potatoes. There is 2 to each person. There's 8 of us here today having lunch. Once the potatoes are cooked, we will uncover them and then add lemon juice and oregano and maybe a little bit more olive oil and salt and pepper. Smash them and stir them together and then put them back in the oven for another half an hour to crisp them up. If they're not crispy enough, then try and cook them a little bit longer. Just gauge it. Lots of olive oil. Don't be afraid. They don't have to be covered or swimming in them, just coated. And then pepper, cracked pepper, I love cracked pepper, and salt. And coat them in the spices and also in the olive oil. Beautiful. Now we don't want them to brown or crisp up or cook on the outside. We just want them to just cook a little bit, enough to be able to break them down with the lemon juice and oregano and more olive oil. So I am going to cover them with some alfoil.
See, this is a better one. So I think that's a nicer flame.
Okay,
now we are going to smash our potatoes with some oregano, more salt and pepper, more olive oil, and some lemon juice. Two lemons is plenty. Oh, yummy. Some more olive oil. Some cumin. And some more salt and pepper. Oregano. I love using this oregano straight off the bunch. It's a product of Greece and it smells amazing. Just give it a little shake. There you go. And just grab a spatula and just start breaking the potatoes up.
But they're I keep like moving them over.
Okay, now we're going to make our salad. Today we're making a prawn, an avocado salad with cucumber and coriander and with some cos lettuce. What I have done is I have deveined our prawns, peeled and deveined, but I left the tails in. There is 8 of us, and so I've got 40 prawns, about 5 each for our salad. In with the prawns, I will cut up 2 Lebanese cucumbers, just down the middle, and then across 2 slices, about ½ centimetre wide. You don't have to de-seed the cucumbers. And just chop the top and tail. And there's no need to peel either. It's up to you. You can peel them if you don't like the skin. But I will just when you choose the cucumbers, make sure they're nice and firm and they have got no wrinkly ends. Then about ½ a bunch of coriander. Please take the roots off. Normally the roots can be used for curries and curry pastes, but today for the salad we won't be using them, but you can save them for another recipe if you're making curry. And I will chop them, including the stems, not too small. That's my daughter cooking in the background as well. She's preparing an apple pie for our Christmas lunch. She loves cooking. Cooking runs in the family. Okay. What I will be doing is I will be preparing our dressing, which consists of lime juice and salt and pepper and olive oil. I'm using this juicer because it has got a bowl under it, and then I can keep that to make my dressing. You can use 2 or 3 limes depending on the size and the amount of juice, how juicy they are. I'm using 3 today because we like our salad nice and zesty. A couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And some salt and pepper. I will use just pink Himalayan salt, about a teaspoon. Now you can use this dressing for any salad, not just for prawns. I love it in every salad. Especially if you're putting avocado, it'll stop your avocado from going brown. Give our dressing a stir to mix all the ingredients together. And just use half the dressing on the prawns, cucumber and coriander, and just give it a stir through. Now, if you do want to be really organized and you're expecting guests, you can do this and cover it and put it in the fridge so it's prepared, because it is very hard to store a big salad in the fridge when you're a little bit, poor for space. So what you can do is you can just do your prawns, coriander and cucumber in a bowl, cover it with Glad wrap and put it in the fridge, and then last minute pull your big bowl out, put your lettuce in and your avocado and finish off your salad just before you serve it. I have pre-washed my lettuce and I have spun them, and this is the rest of it here. Always spin all the water out of your lettuce. Your salad will taste a lot better and your dressing will be a lot stronger. If you don't spin all the water out of your lettuce, then it'll be watery and it won't be as flavoursome. I love having a spinner because I use it for my herbs, I use it for my lettuce and all your loose baby rocket and baby spinach, because I like to wash it when I bring it home and put it in the fridge.
That looks lovely already. So
yeah,
simple.
It's beautiful. So what I've done is, with all my nice big lettuce leaves, I have put them around the side of the bowl, and then all the small ones, I have broken them up in the middle.
Lovely.
And when you serve it, you can use one nice big leaf and then put the salad on it in your plate, and that'll look beautiful too.
So simple, it's such a difference, just the way that it's been arranged.
Yes, really, thank you. Really simple. There you are. So now I will put my prawns and cucumber and coriander in the middle, and the dressing will also go onto the lettuce. There we are. How bright, nice and colourful that is.
That's lovely.
We love avocado, and there is 8 of us, so I will use 2 avocados. The way that I love to do the avocado, cut it in half, remove the seed with my knife, and then cut it in half again, and then peel it, just like that, and slice it over the salad.
Lovely. That's a good little trick.
Yes, and you can pre-prepare your avocado if you squeeze some lemon juice on it, but I like to cut it last minute because it looks nice and fresh. There's also tools that you can slice avocado with that you can buy in the kitchen shops if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself. The way to pick an avocado is to you don't have to squeeze the whole fruit. You can just squeeze the top of the avocado, and if it's soft, then your avocado is ready to eat. If it's hard, then it might need a couple of more days. If you're not sure about the ripeness of the avocado, it's best to ask your greengrocer. There's lots of variations for prawn and avocado salad. This one is nice and simple and everyone loves it. Okay, now I will put the rest of the dressing into my salad and just spread a little bit over the outside leaves as well, so they get that nice zesty flavor as well. Okay, and I'll just put a little bit more salt and pepper on the avocado. There you are, prawn and avocado salad with coriander and Lebanese cucumber. Nice and simple and very tasty.